Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Today we're going to talk about the day one recap from the Major League Fishing Heavy Hitters event here on Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia. It didn't go well. Did not go as planned at all. It turned into kind of a scramble mode type deal that just never panned out. The day was kind of a little bit of a cluster the whole way. You know how sometimes things happen right off the bat where you're like, man, I hope that's not an omen for the day. That's kind of what happened with respect to this event where, I got to the boat yard. I went to pick up the boat that was assigned to me, and they had given it to Luke Clausen. So we had to go swap boats. He was starting to load some stuff into his boat, which was my boat, and it just kind of started the day off that way. We ended up actually having a black widow spider in the boat at one point. Just little things that kind of were a bad omen. So we started the day off going, what did we do? We went up. Well, we drove around a little bit trying to find shad spawn, never saw that. So I ended up in an area that I had had some success in practice. And I just decided, that's where I saw the three biggest fish that I caught all week. So we were going to concentrate in that area just to start and see how it went from there. And the first little pocket I fished through was not good. I caught a couple of shorts, 3 or 4 little shorts, really small, not even big enough to put in the scale. We had a 2-pound minimum, so they were, 13 inches or something like that. And towards the end of the period, I think I caught 2 flathead catfish on a chatterbait. So from that standpoint, they were just little things that was like, man, this doesn't seem to be going my way. And we ended up finishing the first period with 0 fish. And I thought weights were going to be a lot better than they were. They turned out not to be extremely high. I think the cut, I think it's right around 24 pounds right now. But at the end of the first period, we were still only really 1 bite out of the cut. I think there were like roughly 5 guys that hadn't caught a fish or a scoreable bass. And at that point, I was thinking about getting out of that area and running way down the lake to a couple of different coves where I had seen 3 or 4 really nice scoreable fish. And when I say seen, I had them bite a topwater bait with no hooks, or I saw fry ballers or something along those lines where, I felt like they were pretty catchable fish if I could go back and get into those areas. And the area I started was kind of just a big general zone. So once the second period started, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay here. There's a couple little spots I want to hit real fast. And, right off the bat, I think the first cast of the second period, I caught one that was like 113, just under a scoreable fish. Quickly thereafter, caught a scoreable bass that was like a 2.5 pounder. And just started getting a lot of bites and finished the 2 little areas I wanted. After about an hour, I caught another scoreable. That was another 2.5 pounder. But at that point, because I covered the rest of that little zone, I was like, okay, at this point, I need to make a move. I need to, I'm still only like 4 pounds out of the cut. I need to make a move and run down lake to these 3 coves where I had seen a bunch of fish. And so I run down there, pretty decent run. Get there, the first pocket, one of our guys was fishing it. So I couldn't go there. Pull into the second pocket, another one of our guys is fishing it. The third pocket, nobody was there, I thought, and I'm fishing down the bank, and there's like a curve in it. And next thing I know, I think it was Dustin Cannell comes out of there with 4 or 5 boats watching him. So I know he was doing well. I don't know that he caught him there, but I know I was fishing water that had just been fished. So from that standpoint, that was disappointing. And that kind of ended the second period. So at that point, I was like, well, now I've kind of out of stuff down here. I thought I was going to fish these 3 spots. So I'm just going to go fish. And because I was, I want to say it was like 12 pounds out of the cut, I was like, I'm just going to pick the glide bait up. The big bass was only 5 pounds 4 ounces, which is a big fish, but a very doable fish. And I felt like the glide bait would give me the best chance to potentially catch that. And I had one stretch where I saw a ton of fish, not giants, but a lot of scoreable fish, a lot of nice quality fish, some 4-pounders when I was throwing a glide bait. So I figured I'd go through that area and see if maybe I could generate a big bite and commit to the glide bait for the third period. So I did that, and I ended up catching 4 fish on the glide bait, and they all were 111 to 114s. They were long, skinny post-spawn fish. They were, I mean, a couple of them were probably 16 inches, but they didn't even go 2 pounds. So that was pretty disappointing. And not to say, I also cast off the glide bait. At that point, I was catching them on a KGB Chad Shad. And I cast that off with about 45 minutes to go, and I didn't have another one. So I pulled out some other glides I gave a whirl with and had 0 interest on it. So I don't know if that one glide I had was kind of working really well. I've had a lot of success on that one in the past, so I was pretty bummed to have lost that one. Or I'm just not sure if the last 45 minutes I was hitting water that wasn't that good, but I saw fish there the first time. Regardless, that's put me in a position now where I've got no other place to go but up. And the question is, you know, I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm 18 or 19 pounds out of the cut range at this point, so I'm a long ways. It's not like it's not an insurmountable amount, but it's going to be pretty difficult to get up into that range. So the question is, do I just kind of go fish free, fish comfortable, maybe come across, you know, a really big fish just fishing? Maybe you find a bed fish. Do I pick up the glide bait and just, you know, or big swim baits and just go for big fish to try to win the $10,000 big fish award? So I'm kind of in a position where I still don't know yet what I'm going to do. I might have a bunch of different rods rigged up, and I might just do a little bit of everything. You know, the reality is this is a made-for-TV event, fun fishing event. We all got paid to come, and I'm going to go home happy anyway, so I might as well have a good, fun day of fishing on the water. It's just a matter of, do I want to probably really limit the number of bites that I get to potentially increase the chance at a big fish, or do I want to just kind of fish the ways that I think I can do to get bit and have a good, enjoyable day on the water and hopefully catch more fish, which then also increases my shot at a big fish? I don't know if any of that makes sense. The reality is here, I'm happy to be fishing this. I'm enjoying it. I know it was a really crummy day on the water, but that happens. There's a lot worse things in life. So we're going to go out and have some fun, try to figure out a way to capitalize, maybe make a rally, maybe catch big bass. There's only 15 of us fishing tomorrow, so the odds of doing either are not terrible. We can make this happen. Anyways, thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for everyone who's reached out, and I appreciate all of the support that I get from everyone out there in YouTube land, and we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. You can follow along MajorLeagueFishing.com. Day 2, Group B. So tomorrow or Tuesday. Hopefully this will probably come out on Tuesday is my guess. So maybe you won't be able to follow along. It might be over by the time it comes out. The point is, I appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you.